Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Thursday, November 25, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Chicago Bears vs Detroit Lions. Chicago is averaging 16.3 points per game. They are averaging 155.8 passing yards and 132.1 rushing yards per game. Andy Dalton completed 11 of 23 passes for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns in the loss to Baltimore. He is expected to start in place of an injured Justin Fields. David Montgomery had 14 carries for 58 yards, while Darnell Mooney had 5 catches for 121 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Chicago has struggled defensively, giving up 24 points per game. They gave up 16 points in their last game and will need a similar effort if they want to win this game. The Bears won't have DT Akeem Hicks, ankle, and old Khalil Mack, foot, was placed on the IR. Detroit is averaging 16 points per game. They are averaging 197.8 passing yards and 114.2 rushing yards per game. Tim Boyle completed 15 of 23 passes for 77 yards and 2 interceptions in the loss to Cleveland. With Jared Goff still listed as questionable for this game, Boyle will likely get the start if Goff is unable to play. DeAndre Swift had 14 carries for 136 yards and 1 touchdown, while TJ Hawkinson had 6 catches for 51 yards. Detroit has struggled defensively, giving up 27.3 points per game. They gave up 13 points in their last game and will need another solid defensive effort if they want to get the win. Our first betting advice is to pick Chicago Bears minus 3.5 on the season. The Lions are 30th in the league in passing offense, with 197.8 yards per contest. Detroit stands 16th in rushing as they average 114.2 yards a game this year. The Lions are 30th in the league in scoring offense, as they put up an average of 16 points per contest, while they are 30th in scoring defense by allowing 27.3 points per game. Jared Goff is 220 of 333 passing for 2,109 yards with 8 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, while adding 76 yards on the ground. Tim Boyle is 15 of 23 passing for 77 yards and 2 interceptions. DeAndre Swift leads the team on the ground with 137 carries for 555 yards and 4 touchdowns this season. Jamal Williams is next in line with 78 carries for 323 yards and 2 scores. TJ Hawkinson leads the team with 54 catches for 499 yards and 2 scores this season. Swift, 53 receptions, 420 yards, 2 TD, Calif Raymond, 30 catches, 363 yards, 2 TD, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, 35 grabs, 329 yards, are other receiving options for the Lions. Austin Seibert is 5 of 5 on extra point attempts and 10 of 12 on field goals, with a long of 52. Ryan Santoso was 5 of 6 on extra points and 2 of 3 on field goals, with a long of 35, while Aldrick Rosas hit his lone extra point attempt and his lone field goal attempt, with a long of 43. Our second betting advice is to pick under. Las Vegas Raiders vs Dallas Cowboys. The Raiders are allowing an average of 26.2 points per game, which is 26th in the NFL. Las Vegas is 16th in the NFL in overall defense, allowing an average of 132.1 yards rushing and 220.8 yards passing, for a total of 352.9 yards per game. Linebacker Denzel Perryman has a team-best 114 tackles, while defensive end Max Crosby is leading the Raiders in quarterback sacks with 5, and 4 players each have 1 interception for Las Vegas. The Dallas offense is 3rd in the NFL in scoring, with an average of 29.3 points per game. Dallas is 5th in rushing yards, with an average of 133.8 per game, and 5th in passing yards, with an average of 284.3 per game. Dak Prescott is thrown for 2,557 yards with 20 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Prescott has completed 69.6% of his passes. Ezekiel Elliott is rushed for 695 yards and 7 touchdowns, while Tony Pollard is rushed for 495 yards and 1 touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, who is questionable for Thursday, is the leading receiver for Dallas with 50 receptions for 740 yards and 6 touchdowns. Our first betting advice is to pick Las Vegas Raiders +7, and our second betting advice is to pick over 50.5. Quick reminder, BetUS is a platform that offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, BetUS allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join BetUS now using our link down below and get 125% cashback bonus on your first deposit on the sportsbook after you open an account and deposit using our link and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES. Buffalo Bills vs New Orleans Saints. After the Saints scored 15 straight points in the fourth quarter to pull within 33-22, Hurts put the game away with a dazzling 24-yard TD run. They have struggled in the passing game, throwing for only 214 yards per game. Defensively, they are giving up way too many big plays, allowing 267 passing yards per game, 21st. They will have their hands full with a Bills team coming off a bad loss. They desperately need Kamara back. The Bills, 6-4, seeded their lead atop the AFC East with a bad 41-15 loss at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Buffalo has dropped 3 of 5 and hasn't won consecutive games since a 4-0 run ended with a 34-31 loss at Tennessee on October 18. Buffalo was undone by 4 turnovers, the first 3 leading to Colts touchdowns. Our first betting advice is to pick Buffalo -4.5. The Eagles led 33-7 in the third quarter before allowing New Orleans to do some damage control down the stretch. The Saints rank number 24 in the NFL offensively, averaging 321.3 yards per game. They have been without quarterback Jameis Winston for the past month since he suffered a season-ending injury. Backup Trevor Siemian has completed 56.9% of his passes for 920 yards and 8 touchdowns. Running back Alvin Kamara has rushed for 530 yards on 146 carries, but he has not played the last 2 weeks. Kamara is officially questionable for this game with a knee injury. Wide receiver Deonte Harris has caught 26 passes for 418 yards, while Marquez Callaway has added 25 receptions for 372 yards and 6 touchdowns. They are going to face a Buffalo defense that leads the NFL, allowing just 283.7 yards per game. Despite all their losses, the Bills still rank 5th in the NFL offensively, averaging 391.7 yards per game. Quarterback Josh Allen has completed 65.7% of his passes for 2,811 yards and 21 touchdowns. However, he has now thrown 5 interceptions in his last 3 games and has been sacked 7 times over that span. Wide receiver Stephen Diggs has been his top target, catching 60 passes for 773 yards and 6 touchdowns. Running back Devin Singletary has rushed 83 times for 415 yards, averaging 5.0 yards per carry. They will be facing a New Orleans defense that is number 10 in the NFL, allowing 342.0 yards per game. Our second betting advice is to pick over 46.5.